Everybody, it's John back again, and today I'm going to take a look at the Super7's Conan the Barbarian War Paint Conan. I was kind of looking forward to this one, and it finally showed up. Supposedly 2 waves of Thundercats and some Disney figures are eventually going to show up, but I have not seen any of them yet, but I did have this randomly show up at my door. I don't remember when we ordered these. It wasn't quite that long ago, but you get this cool Conan logo with a sword going through it. Super7. And some disclaimer bits. And we take the shipper off. And they usually have some pretty awesome packaging that I just end up throwing away. But it's cool to look at for a little while. And that's why we record things so we can remember. So you got this kind of snake skin looking box cover. Cool little Conan the Barbarian logo. Piece of the sword on the back. And then you slide this up. There's the kind of movie logo. And that's not bad. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. So we got a pretty detailed sword that still looks like it's probably too big, but possibly a sheath to put it in. Screaming head. Looks a little bit more Schwarzenegger-like than the last one, and possibly they've fixed the weird, almost translucent, shiny skin that they had been doing, because it actually looks pretty good. Yeah, and there's some other items in there. We'll take a look. Probably different hands. And then on the blurb back, you got a little blurb about this piece of, or this moment in time in the Conan movies. And it looks pretty cool. And I don't know why my lights are just not hitting their mark today. Everything looks pretty dark. Anyway, give me a minute and I'll open this up. We'll take a closer look at the Super7 Conan figure. Okay, here we have the new War Paint Super7 Conan figure. And when I just first glanced at it, it has some improvements and it also has some weird new negatives. Now remember, the whole time I'm talking about this thing, Super7's Ultimate Figures price points, they're $55 plus shipping. Which is quite a chunk for getting things that you may never have seen. So like the Thundercats and everything, okay, but I don't know. We'll take a real close look here at, I don't know, I think one of my lights might be dying on me, but anyway. This is a close-up of his face. Not too bad. The eyes, I think, are a lot better on this figure. Again, like I said, the weird shine is gone from the overall plastic. I think the face sculpt looks a lot more like a younger Arnie. It's not quite perfect. The hair's got a nice little two-tone color and shine. Got some blood splatters on his chest. The ones on his arm don't look so good compared to the one on his chest. You can tell it just kind of spurted a airbrush probably on him a little bit, and you got that. The painting, the war paint looks pretty good on it overall on his body. He's got his loincloth. I do like the sculpting on the boots. And they also have a nice color tone to them as well. They're two-tone. I don't know if you can pick it up or not. It's kind of like on his knees here. You can see the went with an overspray of probably darker color. It gives it a nice little texture. He's got this cool little detail on the back of his belt. It's got a spot to put the sheath, which is pretty nice looking. And I don't think it comes out on camera, but from the front, everything kind of matches skin tone wise. I will say the torso is a different kind of plastic than we normally have been getting with the Super7 figures. The arms are the same. So it's almost like these two were maybe made at two different factories and they ended up putting them together, because I know sometimes they use the Mattel factory and sometimes they use their own. And that's a different kind of plastic than this. One weird thing that always throws me off on some of the figures that we get is this shoulder gappage right here. I'm sure it's an articulation thing. It just kind of looks weird in the cut of the figure. But the back, this whole back is 3 or 4 shades lighter than the rest of the front and the back. So this piece, probably when they clipped them together, I don't know, the back's completely different. I mean, you probably won't see it very often. The back of the figures themselves just look bizarre. I don't know any human beings with backs that really look like that. The huge, weird gappage for the ab crunch that doesn't really move a whole lot. That's kind of weird. You can see up inside the inner workings of them through there. But in the front, he looks pretty good. It's got some decent movement. I mean, this is the same buck that's been used for a long time now for all the He-Man classics and everything. The mold's probably starting, I don't know, get kind of weird. Maybe that's what we got going on. But you do get some head rotation on him. A little bit up and down. Not really anything because of the hair. They did. I have to say the face is pretty good. I like it. He's got this necklace on that's going to keep popping up because it's stuck. You get stuck in the plastic of the hair, but that's not too bad. And you get some shoulders up, which then, oh, see, that's why that was there. It actually fills that slot really well. Or that gap, anyway. The arms go up and around. You have a bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow, which for some reason is oily, and a hinge and swivel at his wrist, which gives you lots of little movements, which are kind of fun. It's got a little bit of ab crunch back, like nothing forward, which is weird for as big a cut as that is in the back. You'd think he'd be able to go forward somewhat, but he does not move at all on mine. I don't know if anybody else has got this figure. Does you crunch forward at all? Maybe that's why they're getting rid of that joint in most of their more recent figures. They don't have the ab crunch anymore. Swivel at the waist, which is actually covered up pretty good by his bulky loincloth. Legs out. Not a lot forward and back. They get caught on his cloth pieced single jointed single jointed knee. It's got a hole in it. That's bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Looks like some kind of mold issue. I don't know if you can even see it. Yeah, you kind of can. It's weird. It's got a... It looks like somebody stuck a pin in it while it was still cooling. Hopefully that doesn't end up doing anything to the plastic, but it seems okay. And no... Oh, wait, what is that? Little side to side at the knee? That's different. No. Yeah, I get... That's weird. Well, you get a little side to side at the knee, but no boot cut. You do get ankle rocker on the feet, and they're hinged. You do get a little swivel at the thigh. So, this articulation is good. It's basic for this body type. Then we have the pretty cool looking sheath. It's looks like animal skin. Just a little bit of silver paint added. Almost looks like you could pop this front half off, but I don't think it's supposed to. So this should just plug into this hole here. And it hangs way out. And so kind of weird. It'd be nice if it was down a little bit more. I'm sure I could probably tie it, keep it in that slot a little bit. You also have the yelling face for Arnold that I think actually looks more like Arnie than the head that's on there. Oh, that's a tough choice. They're both really good heads. This one's eyes are really nicely done. Look how you can see the eyebrows poking through. Good face sculpts in this one. They definitely improved on that part. Now we've got the giant sword again. This thing is huge. Nicely detailed, for sure. Wow, it is definitely flimsier than the last one, so there's like nothing to the end piece here. Feels like they kind of cheaped out on the plastic on this thing. I mean, this piece is really nice up to here. All the little details are really cool. And then this is weird. It's so thin. The little blood splurt on it is kind of, I don't know. Doesn't look that great. But it's huge. For everything, if you look anything up about the movie, the top of the hilt comes down to Arnie's belly button. So, yeah, it's pretty big, and it's as flimsy as this is. I might actually just cut it. But then you get also two... Oh no, I lost it. There it is. Two closed punching hands, the open hands, and then of course hands to grip for his sword, which I don't know how you get this thing in there. Those are super stiff. You definitely have to heat the hands up to hopefully be able to get the sword in. He's probably gonna just keep it on his hip for me. I wonder how that looks with as giant as this thing is. It's gonna bend as it goes down. Like, holy cow, this sword is so big. Nobody there noticed that by designing this thing? You can't tell me. You probably had to have looked at all the promotional stuff, or at least watched the movie, that this sword is so big. No, they'll never answer they won't ever answer the questions that some of us want to hear. And they'll probably never be asked by the people that they let talk to them. But, yeah, I'm curious as to why... What is that? It's so stupid. But, like I said, it's got some really good pluses. Much better head sculpt, much better skin tone and skin translucency. The hair's nicely done. The torso plastic is a little bit weird that it's different. The color on the back is not that... It's weird that it doesn't match. Boots are great. The sculpting work on them are fantastic. The paint is pretty good. I like the way they painted the pants. I wish they could have carried that through the loincloth because it looks pretty basic compared to the rest of everything else. I like the paint going down the hands. I think they did a pretty good job there. I don't know. You guys will have to... Curious if you watch this. Do you think that price point was matched for the figure you got if you ordered this? I mean, I don't think we'd get another one otherwise, and I think he's going to look pretty good on the shelf with all the rest of the basic Super 7 universe, you can call it, because everybody fits in with each other, which that is a cool thing. Yeah, I'm kind of torn. I hate this. This blood splotches look terrible. This one looks fine, and I can live with that. At least I didn't get any on the face. Man, I really like the screaming mouth head. They did a good job being able to see inside. I don't know. I think I've talked about this a little bit as much as I can. I like it. It'll be on my shelf. It's just not... I don't know. we'll see. Hopefully I'll be blown away by the next couple waves of Thundercats whenever they show up in my place. I really wanted to see the Disney figures in hand. And of course I got our snake friend to look at too that was paired with this one. My only thing now is they're just releasing too much stuff back to 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 back. I think they're running too many licenses. And I've actually had to just decide to not collect certain ones now. Because it's out of hand. I don't know. Curious how everybody else is handling that. It seems kind of ridiculous to me to ask or to hope that everybody would collect everything. Maybe they know that, or they're just banking on people that, hey, these guys are Silverhawks fans, hey, these guys are Thundercats fans, and they don't buy anything else but those. But there's a lot of us that just wanted all the Ultimates, and that ain't gonna happen now. I've already passed on a bunch. Because it's just not feasible. There's all sorts of other stuff out. I really like the Origins figures. NECA's doing some pretty cool stuff with the Universal. It's I don't know. The price is getting bigger and the market's going to start having to shrink. And other companies are going to start getting left out, I think. But he's a cool. I'm more on the positive for this one, definitely. Wrist guards are cool. I didn't even notice them. They blended in with the paint really well. I think just sitting and staring at it gives me that feeling of the movie. I like the Conan movies a lot. And that's why I think one of the reasons I like Elden Ring so much is just because it reminds me of playing a real-life fantasy movie. It's very entertaining, but it has nothing to do with you, Super7, so I'm just going to move on. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with him. Other than those few little things, and why is the sword so big? Why? I just want to know who picked that? Who looked at that and said, "Yeah, that's okay." The sword should go up into his mouth when it sits on the ground, because that's not at all in scale. Oh well, that's gonna always bother me. It's so weird. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully I can get some more videos up a little bit sooner than I have been. It's hard. Please continue to subscribe. I'm getting close to, I think, 700. Or maybe I'm over 700. I'm getting close to 800. I don't remember anymore. I'd like to get to 1,000 one day. But I know my upload schedule is too chaotic and all over the place, and YouTube would probably never let that happen. So, cheers and enjoy your figures, folks. Goodbye. Hi, I just want to say thank you one more time for checking out this video. And if you're interested in seeing any more, you can click either one of the links that will be over here. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, there'll be a button down below where you can do that as well. And again, thank you.